Yeah, the state is interested in recrossing her. I understand that we haven't subpoenaed her specifically, the defense has. But I would, I suppose, present evidence from her original testimony at this point in order to avoid doing that during recross. As long as that's fine.
All right. Yeah. I mean, present how you wish.
All right. Page 10 of the discovery document.
All right. Flipping. You're having me flip through every which way, huh?
Listen, I got page numbers for you today.
Yeah. You know, I do appreciate it. All right.
All right. In Fenna's statement here, there's no need to read out the entire statement, but the state will call attention to a section of it. She states, they brought me to a lookout tower where they continued talking to me about family. After refusing to take the substance, they mentioned something about it becoming dark and that it was time to move. They brought me to the cave of statues. Lou presented me with a jar and I took some of the paste out on my finger, figuring I could feign taking it and it would all be over soon. That once they were on it, I could most likely escape. He noticed that I didn't take it properly, though, and had me do it again, so I complied. This is where things become tricky. I know what I experienced, but I know what I experienced and witnessed is not necessarily trustworthy. I heard voices again. It was impeccably loud. I began seeing things, shadows of sorts, but also colors appeared richer. Everything in the cave looked funny, wavy of sorts. I don't remember how we got to the point of speaking with Simon, but he showed up. Things get even hazier for me here. I have moments where I can't remember how I ended up on the ground, but I assume I passed out. I pleaded, I begged them to leave. I figured the only way all this will ever end is for me to complete whatever this ritual was. I remember deputies stepping in at one point. I remember feeling extremely weak, like I would pass out again. So I went back into the cave where it wasn't so bright. And that does conclude this state's evidence.
All right. So does the state rest in that case?
Yes, the state does rest.
Thank you very much. Mr. LeBlanc, how are we? What do you have for me today?
I would, well, I believe I subpoenaed Miss Lasky into giving her side of the story and to clear things up, shall we say.
I believe that you did, matter of fact. All right, Mr. Lasky, or Mrs. Lasky, please feel free to step on up.
You've been a Mr. and a Mary this whole time?
If you prefer, we can have you on my left here instead of on my right.
Fenna, do you want a copy of the Bible or the Constitution?
The Bible.
Okay. Give me a second. Alright, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay. You're gonna be fine, okay? I got you. If he tries anything, I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
Alright, whenever you're ready, Mr. LeBlanc.
Miss Lasky, at any point during my time with you, did I force you to take any substances?
No.
Is that a no?
Objection, leading question.
It's a simple question, is it not?
It's not necessarily implying or suggesting an answer.
Okay.
What we're saying, so I'm going to overrule.
It's a yes or no question. And I believe this question will be what answers if I am guilty or not. So I'll ask again, Miss Lasky, as I did not quite hear your answer. Did I force you, me, Did I force you to take any form of substance?
No.
Did I say at any point you could leave whenever you wished?
No.
Wonderful. I have no further questions.
Just so I get this down clearly, it was a no to him ever saying that you can leave when you wish. So he never said that you could leave when you wish.
He
Is
never
that
said
correct?
I could leave when I wish.
All right. Thank you.
I have no further questions.
All right. Thank you. Go forward, Mr. York.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. During the time that you were in the custody of the defendant and his accomplice, were you restrained or were you free to move about on your own, Miss Lasky?
There was a couple times that I was restrained.
Can you tell us what kind of restraints were used to keep you contained?
Objection, irrelevance.
I believe it's relevant in that she's been kidnapped. They've pled guilty to the kidnapping, and the charges happened during this kidnapping. If someone is to be placed in physical distress for a prolonged amount of time, I would believe that them being contained or restrained would be relevant.
I'll allow it. Overruled.
At first they tied me up when I was running, and then they tied me to a chair.
Were you able to access food or water during your capture?
They asked me a couple times if I wanted anything. I refused it because I knew that they had drugged me last time using food and water.
Did you tell them that you were thirsty or hungry?
I don't remember.
Objection, a leading question.
I can lead during recross.
That is correct. So overruled.
What kind of physical feelings were you experiencing during the duration of your capture?
In the beginning, it was hope, I guess, that I was able to get away. There was a lot of adrenaline, but the adrenaline kind of fell into just exhaustion when I realized that I wasn't going to.
In your statement, you mentioned that you'd been presented with a jar of paste, which you were told to consume. Were you informed of what this paste was?
I don't know what it is exactly, but I know it enough from my previous experiences with it that I knew what I was in.
So just to clarify, they didn't inform you, though, what it was?
I don't know what it is.
Okay. Were you offered an option to take it or not? Did they give you a choice?
They did give me a choice.
Can you explain what your choices were?
My choice was essentially that I either take it and I finish the ritual, I finish what started, or Lou failed, and worse things would happen.
Did they specify what those worst things would be?
Not in so many words. Lou was convinced he was gonna die if I didn't take it. No, I don't know.
Was the defendant present when you consumed the paste?
Yeah.
Did the defendant offer you any option to deny the orders? Any other way out of this situation other than take it or worse things will happen?
Not to my memory.
Did the defendant express any disagreement with his accomplice?
No.
And did the defendant remove himself from the situation?
No.
Would you have taken the substance if you weren't under duress?
What do you mean?
If you had not been in this cave and in these two men's custody, if you'd seen this sitting on your kitchen table, would you have consumed it?
No.
Can you detail to us any of the physical effects that you remember that this paste had on you?
I remember the light hurting. Though I don't know if that was so much because of the paste or because we were in the cave for quite a while. I felt nauseous. I felt things poking at me, and I felt tired. I just felt very tired, mentally and physically.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Would the defense like to redirect?
I don't believe I would.
All right. Thank you, Miss Lasky. At this time, does the defendant have anything else?
No.
Okay. In this case, I think we'll move into closing statements. Would either side like some time to
Yes, Your
prepare?
Honor.
Okay, how long are we thinking?
10, 15 minutes?
10, 15 minutes? How does that sound for you, Mr. LeBlanc?
Wonderful.
Alright, we'll follow up in 10 minutes, see how we're looking, and, go from there. So we'll do a 10-minute recess and reconvene at 7:47. Alright.
All right, sweetheart. Big deep breath. Be strong. Just remember that you are stronger than every other
In
fucking
that case,
stripe wearing
court is
asshole in
now
that room.
back in session.
We have your back.
Alright.
So how is
State
it
may
today?
proceed with closing statements. Oh, well, everyone can also get back in
That's
if
fine.
you're right there. Yeah. Alright, when you're ready.
Your Honor, today you have heard testimony from both the victim of the crimes and from witnesses at the scene of the crime that the defendant did in fact take a role in the maltreatment of Fenna Lasky. Not only has the defendant pled guilty to the kidnapping of Fenna Lasky, but it has also been clearly established that the defendant took active part in restraining and threatening her, as we have heard from Mr. Caulfield, even pointing a gun at the back of her head to keep her in place, while deputies confronted the pair. At no point has the court received any indication that the defendant removed himself from the situation, expressed any dissension with his co-conspirator's actions, or offered the victim any means to escape her torment. It is unreasonable to assume that Miss Lasky could have consented to any actions which could reasonably cause her harm while being actively kidnapped by hostile parties. In 1902 CCM 011, State of New Alexandria versus Burt Middleton, Seth Lee, Obadiah Sticks, Jebediah Fritt, and Claude Porker, the judge established that accomplices to a crime may be charged with the full crime as long as they take an uncoerced supporting role in the criminal action. The defendant claimed to us that Miss Lasky could leave at any time and was not forced to take the substance. Yet we have heard from her that she went so far as to deny any other food or drink so that she required for fear that it may cause her harm, let alone the substance which did. You heard her state that she would not, in fact, consume such a substance under any other circumstances. The definition of maltreatment is as follows: intentional, purposeful, uncoerced bodily harm to inflict severe and or sustained physical distress, disfigurement, dismemberment, or maiming. Our laws clarify sustained physical distress as follows. To inflict severe and or sustained physical distress is to cause physical harm of a severe degree to a person God, my notes. Let me back check that.
Take your time.
To inflict severe and or sustained physical distress is to cause physical harm of a severe degree to a person and or sustained physical harm. There it is. You have heard the recorded testimony of Lieutenant Deputy Jacob Allen, in which the victim was observed vomiting and in a good amount of pain. You observed testimony from Simon Caulfield at the scene where she was found, where he stated that he witnessed her vomiting and making sounds which a reasonable person would associate with physical distress. You heard testimony from Fenna herself, in which she stated that she felt tired, nauseous, and that she eventually passed out as a result. The state cannot say what substance Miss Lasky was given by the defendant and his accomplice, but the state has established clearly that the actions taken by the defendant that they did indeed cause Miss Lasky prolonged physical distress. It is because of these things that the state believes it has more than satisfied the burden of proof on this case, and it does urge Your Honor to find the defendant guilty.
All right, thank you. Mr. LeBlanc?
May I begin?
Harry?
I did indeed capture Fenna Lasky. I'm aware of what I have done and what I haven't. My brother has not been found guilty of anything as of yet. I followed in my brother's footsteps, hoping to save my so-called sister from the abyss that calls to her. I meant to protect her. It seems I have failed. Truly, this is a dark day, although I am not guilty of what you accuse me of. These so-called witnesses
Nothing like
I've
incriminating
seen have
yourself.
clearly corrupted her mind,
Just
but
the
perhaps
exact
she has
bullshit
already
we
lost,
proposed
throwing
last
away
case.
everything my brother
What
did
a
for her.
closing.
There was nothing more for her.
Runs in the
She's
family.
lost.
Being a bullshit lie.
And I believe I will start making amends. Now.
Oh,
I
Just stay down.
Stop!
some of y'all want to get on that, maybe?
Stop, or you're gonna be shot.
We need
Oh,
Taki.
well that works.
Fucking bit me. Calm the fuck down.
Just put a bullet in.
I'm far from done.
Shoot him.
Can
It's a
can
small
someone put a
space.
bullet in him?
Okay, oh.
Hey, stay behind me, Joe.
Pistol with him, something.
Yeah.
Just stop. It's fucking over.
One down.
Knocked up the guard. Oh, he's incapacitated.
Want me to step in?
Just fucking stop it.
Want me to step in?
If anyone wants to shoot him, I mean, at any point.
It's too small of
Oh.
a space. small of a space.
Oh!
He's knocked out.
There it is.
Shit.
Okay. Here, if we can get everyone who's not essential outside of the courthouse now, or at least the room. You know.
Can we get
yeah,
everyone to exit the courthouse?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll start escorting people out.
Of course.
Solomon.
After you.
Oh,
If anyone is
show.
medical, please stay behind. We'll take one person.
I say just let him bleed out. Let's get them out of here.
Well,
Fenna, come with me.
Someone get to Nora.
where's Nora?
Everyone else out, please, quickly.
It's too fucking
Yep.
small in here to shoot people.
Yeah, that.